Mike Marley, and what I'm going to do right now is almost a start to finish, basically kind of teaching people how to do this. And this is my map book. What I got is a piece of transparency. I printed some grid patterns on it, and this is a map of the community. As you can see, I got my hand tool here. There's a couple coat hangers. I cut them with that right there, and I got an LL right there. I got a magic marker. So what we got to do is somehow get some GPS accuracy, but we're going to use a manual accuracy to try and track something down. So just to kind of get the starter for it, I just made a video, so give me just a minute and we'll show you how it works. So we put these in your hand, you let them just hang there like this, and then just barely hold them. Don't even try and move them, you know, and walk. If you notice when I'm walking here, they're not moving. No matter what way I go, they're not really moving. You know, that's because there's nothing here to find. But here we go. Walk. Uh-oh, we got something right here. So we mark this, we pull out the map, and what we do is we say, all right, so where we stand in, that is on Endora. So we got a dot there. All right, I have to walk 3 paths. I know I'm going across the road here. So just to kind of figure it out. All right, so it's right here too. So we're over there, here's a 3rd path. 3, and we're gonna go, we got one right here. And then I have to walk 3 paths. So a Z pattern really is what I like to do, but here it's kind of a little different. Doesn't matter whether I walk forwards, sideways, backwards, you know, it's all pretty much the same there. You know, now you notice I already went ahead and mapped out all this other stuff. All I'm doing is showing you how I'm able to play connected dots. So we got 3 lines there, they all matched up there. So let's find the other one. We know there's a few more here. So what we're going to do is walk here and until we find it. You know, we know that there's going to be something here somewhere. There we go. So right here, and I'm not sure, it might go all the way up under there. So let's walk over here and see what we get. All right, it's the same thing pretty much. Here we go, and then the 3rd path. Okay. All right, so we got the 3 paths here. So let's do it again. 1 and 2 and 3. All right, so since we got to go back down this way, figuring out there's my pen cap. All right, so we got it there, and there's a couple more up here somewhere. So you see I marked one right there, so this is probably right here. All right, there's one here. So walk over here. There's one here. This line I'm going to map it out a little further. So we're going to come up over to here and map it out. Boom, so it comes back over to here. And since we want to take it a little bit further, it's 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can find it coming up into the yard here. So as we're walking up next to it, haven't got much of anything, but boom. All right. Excuse me. So what we have here is 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's just across that street there. Now this, as you see, you probably can't see it, but I've actually already mapped these up to Airport Road here, and the lines, they all match across several blocks, even under 95. And this property here, there's a big farmhouse over here, and then there's a little rental or a parcel. So they got a spider web from the parcel, and then these 3 lines come back over here and they cross near some other houses. So these actually dead end right behind the house. So what I'm doing here is just showing you a small example of playing connected dots. Now you can trust that these are here. Anybody who comes out here and looks for these are going to find the same thing. But GPS accuracy, GPS accuracy, right, pinpoints the locations. So I walk around marking every time this hand tool's worked, and eventually I'm able to locate where a deployment site starts and where a deployment site ends. Now all I have to do is figure out, is it buried here or is it buried here? You know, or did they drill from this location? You know what I mean? They could have pointed their drill this way and this way to make it look like something it's not. So what we're doing is doing this here. Now in some of these other ones, I've done quite a few of these already, and some of the locations, this one's actually the same street. This one maps back the spider web over here near Timber Creek, this one over here off of Creek Lane. This one is a map off of Fox Hunter Flats, and it looks like it's here, but it's actually from this location there. This is an old map. It's one of the first creek runs I did, and this is a non-complete version, but that is actually the FBI building, and there's a deployment that goes this way. It actually comes back here, and then it goes across this way, and there's one that goes this way. So there's a spider web and a grid pattern under that FBI building too. So what you do is you walk around and you make marks on it. These aren't very professional. These are just quick drawings before I went up and started doing the right thing with it. And this is Pathways Elementary School, and it actually has 2 deployment sites there. So there's 2 that come up under the schoolyard there. So there's there, and then there's there. But the way these are mapped is every time the rods make an X, I make a point on the map. Every time they do it, you know. So to give you an example, let's say I was walking down this area right here, okay, and this is imaginary. I'm not actually going to do this here, but what I do is X, and then I mark. So every time the rods work, I put a dot on the map, and when I'm done, I play connected dots, and I say, oh, this is a drill site. Now at this drill site, all I do is pull the power meter, and then I try and do this again. I try to make the map again, and if I'm unable to find these points again by pulling the power meter, say here, then this is deployment site.